The lights inside the America's Got Talent theater dimmed just a little, and the noise of the crowd slowly faded into curious silence. Two figures stood at the center of the stage, one small, one fragile with age. A young Filipino boy held the microphone with both hands, his fingers trembling, while beside him stood his grandfather, his shoulders slightly bent but his eyes steady and full of quiet strength. In that moment, before a single note was sung, something powerful was already happening. If you've ever believed that music can heal generations, this was the moment that would prove it. And before this story unfolds, remember, stories like this deserve to be shared. If it touches your heart even a little, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because kindness and inspiration grow when we pass them on. The boy's name was Miguel, just 11 years old, raised in a small Filipino household where love was strong but life was never easy. His parents worked long hours overseas, chasing dreams they hoped would one day bring comfort to their family back home. In their absence, Miguel was raised by his grandfather, Lolo Andres, a retired fisherman whose hands were rough from decades of hard work but whose heart was gentle beyond words. Every night, when electricity flickered and the wind rattled the windows, Lolo Andres would sing old Filipino songs about sacrifice, love, and hope. Miguel learned those songs before he learned multiplication tables. Music became their language, their comfort, and their bond. Life tested them again when Lolo Andres fell seriously ill. Hospital visits became frequent, money grew tighter, and fear quietly settled into Miguel's young heart. During those hardest nights, Miguel would sit by his grandfather's bed and sing the same songs Lolo once sang to him. Slowly, painfully, those songs became a promise: no matter what happened, they would face it together. That promise carried them from a small village all the way to the AGT stage, a journey that felt impossible until it wasn't. When Simon Cowell asked why they were there, Miguel took a deep breath and spoke with a courage far bigger than his age. He said they wanted to sing a Filipino song to honor family, sacrifice, and all grandparents who raised their grandchildren with love. Lolo Andres placed a hand on Miguel's shoulder, not saying a word, but in that simple gesture was a lifetime of protection and pride. Then the music began. The melody was soft at first, almost fragile. Miguel's voice carried innocence and longing, while Lolo Andres' voice followed, older, deeper, cracked with emotion. Together, their voices blended into something extraordinary. It wasn't perfect. There were small pauses, slight trembles, but that was what made it real. The song spoke of parents who leave so their children can dream, of grandparents who stay behind and become both mother and father. The audience leaned forward. Some placed hands over their mouths. Others quietly wiped away tears. Halfway through the song, Simon Cowell's expression changed. The tough judge, known for criticism, slowly lowered his head. His eyes glistened. By the final chorus, as Miguel reached for his grandfather's hand and sang with everything he had left, Simon broke down completely. Tears streamed down his face, unfiltered and human. The theater stood in silence for a heartbeat, then erupted into applause so loud it felt like the walls themselves were shaking. When the song ended, Miguel hugged his grandfather tightly. Lolo Andres whispered something into his ear, and Miguel nodded, tears falling freely now. The judges stood up. The audience followed. It was a standing ovation that lasted long after the music faded. Simon struggled to speak, finally saying that this was not just a performance, but a reminder of why music exists, to connect souls across time and generations. That night, Miguel and Lolo Andres didn't just sing a song. They told the story of millions of families. They reminded the world that love doesn't need perfection, only sincerity. They proved that even the smallest voice, when filled with truth, can move the strongest hearts. As they walked off the stage hand in hand, one thing was clear: no matter what happened next in the competition, they had already won something far greater. They had shared their story with the world, and the world listened. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of your own grandparents, your own struggles, or your own dreams, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because every subscribe helps us bring more stories of hope, humanity, and real emotion to you. Remember, kindness, love, and music can change lives. Sometimes, all it takes is one song, sung together.